because it seems to be the fall guy in every YouTube video or article made about why OnlyFans is so popular and why men simp. It is certainly a factor, but it is oversimplistic to say that it is the whole reason why men decide to simp for online creators. Men can have times of loneliness and decide to buy things they might not otherwise purchase. I've talked about how men are the primary buyers of dating app subscriptions in the past, and without them, those sites would likely not exist, as very few women are willing to pay to find dates. As I discussed when talking about the different types of OnlyFans customers, men can find themselves in lonely situations after divorce or breakup and be looking to fill that hole temporarily with online content. But after a certain point, people are not making the decisions based on loneliness, but more so in order to keep something in their lives that they like. So it is hard to plan a marketing strategy long term around the concept of lonely men because that is something that can change quickly. You won't be able to keep a long-term simp who simply subscribed to your page due to loneliness between relationships. All right, number 2 on why men simp. A desire for a high-status woman. Yes, women are still objectified in Western society. That isn't any news to most women, but it might be if you put it as a point-blank question to most men. Men are not going to admit that an attractive woman is a status symbol to them, like a luxury car or a designer suit. That doesn't make it any less of a reality, and for men online looking to simp for you, it will be because you provide them some status. I know that could seem ridiculous when you think about it, because most of your fans are not part of your life, and you would have no interest in meeting any of them in real life. But even a virtual, quote-unquote, trophy girlfriend for many men can provide an increase in self-esteem and worth. All men desire an attractive woman, and if they are currently with someone they deem on par or below them in looks, they will seek out a new partner online or in real life. So know that many men are going to give you gifts and attention regardless of their relationship status. If you are a high status to them, they will do what it takes to obtain you or your attention. Don't be fooled that the gifts or money they are giving you is not also benefiting them, or they would not be doing it. Now, of course, I'm speaking about heterosexual men wanting attractive women. There are plenty of bi and gay men who want an attractive man. So if you are a male creator, the same rules would apply for you here, just reversing of the gender mentioned. All right, so next one reason would be why men simp would be erotic satisfaction. To be blunt, many men simp to women because it gets them off in some way. I'll let you interpret my words there however you like. We all know that men are very visual in nature, and so therefore the content that you produce will likely cause them to give you money. Remember that them watching your content is giving them an intimate connection to you. While that might seem odd since you're not part of that first-hand experience, by making the content or recording the video, you are there with them whenever they need you in that regard. Once they've had the content everyone else has had, they're going to seek out their own custom content by engaging with you more. Now you are no longer a passive participant, but an active one. In order for you to become an active participant, though, they need to cough up more and more money. This is where most simping begins, the moment where the man decides that the content you make for the general public isn't enough and he needs more erotic content from you. This, he feels, will heighten his erotic experience, and so he will end up becoming more than just a fan, but one of your simps. Don't underestimate people's ability to imagine you into scenarios due to the content that you produce online. By making that erotic content, you are inviting them into a very personal and private realm of fantasy. Once they want that fantasy to become somewhat more real, that is when you have hooked them and can really gain a simp for the long term. Another reason why men simp: obsessive compulsive activity. It is a sad fact that many people have addictions and bad habits that they find hard to break. One of those is porn addiction, which can be just as devastating to someone's life as being addicted to gambling or to drugs. Think of some simps as people sitting at a slot machine in Vegas just pulling that lever over and over again until all of their money is gone. I will say that you should not actively pursue this kind of person for moral reasons as a fan or a simp. But among your fans right now, you may have some of these types of obsessive compulsive addicts. And then another reason that men simp is infatuation. So lastly, there are people who are just going to become absolutely obsessed with you and everything you do. I'm not going to sit in judgment of fans of things, because we all enjoy some things a little too much at times. But when it comes to simps, the actions you take by creating online content and by interacting successfully with your fans can have some of them following you from platform to platform on a daily basis. These are people I call super fans, and they're often your biggest boosters and supporters. Many of them are infatuated with you, though, beyond a healthy level. Most of these types of infatuations are actually fun for the men who participate in them, as they truly enjoy watching and interacting with you as an OnlyFans model. It's important to know, though, that the reason they simp for you is because they are emotionally attached to you in some way, even if you don't even know their names. All right, now on to how do you get more simps? So now that we know the reasons why simping has become more popular than ever, how do we turn that knowledge into an increase in profit and subscribers? So I'm going to go over some key ways you can increase the number of simps that you attract to your OnlyFans business. All right, first, build up your personal brand. Big brands have big simps. Think about how Apple can get people to wait in line and pay hundreds of dollars more than their competitors on a new version of an iPhone. Most of the time, that new version has barely any real upgrades, but people are there to shell out their money anyway. This is because the bigger your reputation, the more people's common sense seems to fly out the window. A good way to get more simps is to build up your overall brand as much as possible. As I went over in the last episode of the podcast, How to Brand Your OnlyFans, building a brand takes time, but it has so many advantages. Even though you won't be able to give your simps as much personal time as you grow bigger, it will be made up for by the sheer number of simps that you attract. So if you're looking to increase your revenue, make sure to work hard to build up your brand as big as you're able to handle. And if you have not listened to my episode on how to brand your OnlyFans, I highly recommend that you listen to that one as well. All right, secondly, expose more people to your content. No one can become infatuated with you if they never see your content. That is a fact, which means that you need to be putting your content everywhere where simps might live. Some creators are a bit hesitant to put their content in certain places where people consume it basically for free, and I understand that. There is a lot of risk to putting free erotic content on sites like Reddit, Twitter, Discord, and Instagram. What if they see your content and then never decide to buy anything? You've basically worked for free. But here is where a lot of smart creators have gained huge followings just by posting and then eventually deleting erotic content from these platforms. If someone is on Reddit, say a subreddit, and they are really into a particular type of creator and they never see you, they can never be your simp. So you want to do your best to expose people to your content on every major social media and internet website that you can. You also want to zero in on subgroups that will be most likely to enjoy your content and thus become regular buyers later on. All right, next would be become more than just a pretty face. So what makes someone decide to buy a ton of content from one creator and only a small amount from another? In most cases, it is because the first creator took the time to become more than just pretty pictures and erotic content to their fans. They took the time to interact with individual fans, build their fans into a community, and share more about their hobbies and interests with their fans. In short, they established themselves in the mind of their fans as having a high value. If all you are going to do is just post pictures and videos on your OnlyFans page and hope for the best, you're unlikely to attract quality simps. Keep in mind that quality attracts quality, so someone who is established and has money is going to be attracted to someone else who seems established and doesn't, quote unquote, need their money. It doesn't matter if what you create is an illusion of success and status. It's not really real yet. It just matters that you establish yourself as more than just an amateur creator of pictures and videos. This will make potential simps stand up and take notice of you. Or as in business they say, fake it until you make it. All right. Next, make your fans feel like they are part of your life. One big aspect of simping is that it is part of your fans' lifestyle to be into you and your content. These super fans will follow you from platform to platform, liking and commenting on your different posts. You want to make sure you give these fans something to actually comment on. When you post on safe for work sites like TikTok and Instagram, make your posts about things you are interested in or places you have gone that you enjoyed. You don't want to give too much personal information away while doing this, but just enough to make your fans feel like they are on your life journey with you. When you're on not safe for work sites like Twitter, Instagram, not safe for sites like Twitter and Reddit and OnlyFans, make sure to spice up your content with interesting titles and descriptions. Remember that you are wanting to engage with a broad audience on a personal level without having to actually engage directly with each fan. There will come a time when you will interact directly with a simp, but they will need to pay extra for that privilege. Your posts across all of social media should be aimed toward the goal of attracting more people into the cult of you. And that is going to require more than just consistent picture posting, but really making your content interesting and engaging to potential fans as well. Next would be set your value and stick to it. Many creators end up giving away too much of their time and effort on lost causes or time wasters. In order to attract more high quality simps, you will need to make sure that your content is not seen as bottom basement and has a lot of value. You can build up your value by offering high quality content both visually and substantially. If people see your brand as high value and you as very popular, you will attract more fans who will seek to possess more of your time and content. It may take time to build up your brand value, and you may need to start at a lower price and build yourself up. But don't be afraid to increase your pricing over time. If people see that you see high value in yourself and your content, they will treat it and you in the same way. Another way to attract simps, study other creators with large followings of simps. I have talked about the concept of emulating successful creators before. As I mentioned, this is not copying others, as that is wrong. It is more studying what your competitors are doing in hopes of attracting the same level of success.